Hey guys, Derek Benoit of the OutdoorFakesCommunity.com here again. I wanted to take some time to share with you a personal technique to help manage stress and anxiety. No matter how well prepared, no matter how organized you are, no matter how good at scheduling, at delegating you are, unfortunately things are going to pile up at some point. May happen intermittently, may not be very often, but at some point it does happen to all of us. And that can be incredibly stressful. It can be really, really anxiety inducing. And when that stuff starts to pile up, oftentimes that's when we start taking work home. That's when we start having a difficult time relaxing at home, enjoying time with friends and family. Depression may start to creep in, all of those things. So I wanted to share with you this technique to put the brakes on and to start reversing that trend as soon as you recognize that starting to happen. What I want you to do is visualize as strongly and as vividly as possible a stop sign. Literally just, a octagonal stop sign. When you start feeling super anxious, you start feeling overwhelmed, that says, just like it is, stop, so that you give yourself a pause. And like many other things, this will all take practice. So the more you practice it, the better you will get at it. It becomes a very, very powerful tool. Will it work for everybody all the time? No. Especially in severe cases. Again, that's where other techniques, other abilities can be developed through someone like a therapist, or simply talking things out with people and just venting occasionally. As long as it's done appropriately, those are all good things to do, and very, very productive, I might add. But in the short term, this stop sign concept will work very, very well. What that does is it forces you to think about something else other than all of the crap that's building up at that time. Once you've mastered that ability to put up that vivid, mentally pictured stop sign and tell yourself to stop, now you've stopped the bleeding, so to speak, temporarily. What you should do at that point, what I've done successfully, is do a series of 3 deep breaths, a 2 1,000 count in, and a 4 1,000 count out. This is deep belly breathing. This is allowing your belly, not just your chest, to expand outward, to really take in more oxygen and express it on that 4 1,000 count out very, very slowly, deliberately, and somewhat forcefully too. You really want to get that exchange of gases out. What you're doing when you're doing this, and do 3, by the way, 3 at a time, is to increase the oxygen content in your blood and decrease the amount of CO2. It also helps to start to quell the amount of stress hormones that your body is secreting in reaction. Your body has no way of telling when it engages in the fight or flight reflex whether or not you're being chased by a lion, or a comet's coming in to hit Earth that you're witnessing, or whether it's something simply work-related that's causing all this stress. Your body simply does not know how to recognize the difference. You can, for sure. So take those 3 deep 2 1,000 in and 4 1,000 out belly breaths. Get that oxygen exchanging and repeat that process of 3 as many times as needed. Obviously, it helps to be able to sort of distance yourself from whatever the situation is as much as possible. If you can go to your desk where you can get a little bit of relative peace and quiet, maybe got to excuse yourself to the bathroom. Who cares? They don't have to know that you're doing that. Does anybody ask you what you're doing in the bathroom anyways? No. Or, if you find a quiet place during lunch or, some sort of room that you can go to, that would all be helpful as well. The more separated from the situation it is, the better. But the main thing is really to get those breaths going, those belly breaths in and out, to take in oxygen, get rid of the CO2, and to calm down that secretion of the stress hormones from the fight or flight instinct. Once you've done that and calmed yourself down, it may take a while depending on the level of stress you're struggling with. I want you to literally picture as vividly as you can either a switch that you're flipping off and then back on again, or say like something similar to that easy button that we're all familiar with. Maybe it says, instead of the company name, it's got the word reset on it. Something really, really vivid. I want you to physically see yourself switching that switch off and then back on, or in the case of the button that says reset, you can simply picture yourself literally pressing that button down for a bit and then letting go. I want you to picture the word again, just by itself, reset. What this does is it literally prepares me to get back out there with a more clear, more uncluttered mind, a little bit more peace established. It allows me to be better prepared to make decisions without that sort of emotional stress component built into that, which is incredibly helpful. The more worked up we are, the harder it is to think clearly. That's very, very true for everybody, no matter who you are. So by practicing these sort of devices, if you will, I've been able to really, really, really increase my ability to handle any kind of stress at any time, no matter what the situation was. In fact, I've been so successful with these that I really have not been required to use them very often. Maybe a handful of times in the past 3 years or so, even with all of the medical fiascos going on. So bear that in mind. You've got more tools at your disposal to deal with stress, and we're feeling overwhelmed than you might realize. And sometimes your own brain, which can be our own worst enemy, can be one of your most powerful tools. Don't be afraid to use it. Don't be afraid to try this, and let me know how it works for you. Again, it's not going to work for everybody in every situation, but it can work for the vast majority of people immediately. Sometimes, again, you might have to practice that deep belly breathing, the 2,000 count in and 4,000 count out 3 times, and repeat that as many times as necessary. It can take a while, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the case may be. If it takes longer than that, maybe you've had a lot more stress building up than you thought, and it may be time to really start talking with someone professionally about that, or with human resources about any kind of stress management program, or start looking at other ways at home to manage that stress through diet, exercise, all sorts of other stuff, fun with family. There you go. But I want you to try this, see how it works for you, and let me know. Thank you very much, guys. God bless.